Let's talk about a powerful little glitch in our thinking that affects every single one of us pretty much all the time, whether we realize it or not. It's called confirmation bias, and it quietly shapes our entire view of the world. You know the feeling, right? You go online to look something up. You already have a hunch about it. You type in your search, and like magic, the first few results are all telling you that you were right all along. You click, you read, and you walk away feeling even more sure of yourself. Sound familiar? Well, you've just had a run-in with confirmation bias. And look, if this is heading home, you're in good company. This is not a personal flaw. It's not a sign that you're bad at research or anything like that. It's actually a basic feature of how our brains are wired, a mental shortcut we all take to get through the day.
All right, so let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on in our heads when we fall into this trap. What is confirmation bias?
Okay, so here's the official definition. It's really a three-part problem. First, we tend to seek out information that supports what we think. Second, when we get information that's kind of vague, we interpret it in a way that fits our story. And third, our brains are really good at remembering all the times we were right and conveniently forgetting the stuff that challenged us. It's a really powerful, self-reinforcing loop. And this is where the sneaky little switch happens in our brains. Our default question isn't really, is this information true? It's more like, does this information support what I already think? If the answer is yes, we let it in, no questions asked. But if the answer is no, suddenly we become master critics. We pick apart the source, we find flaws in the argument, or we just ignore it. So this isn't just some dusty old psychology theory, right? It shows up everywhere, every single day. Let's look at a few examples of it in the wild. This is just a perfect everyday example. If you're convinced that working from home is a disaster for productivity, you're probably going to search for something like remote work reduces productivity. And guess what? The internet will happily give you exactly what you asked for. You're not really looking for an answer. You're looking for backup for an argument you've already decided you've won. And modern tech basically pours gasoline on this fire. Social media algorithms are designed to show you things they know you'll like and engage with. So they learn very quickly what you believe, and they just keep feeding it to you. Pretty soon, it starts to feel like literally everyone agrees with you. Not because it's true, but because your entire digital world has turned into one big echo chamber. It has a huge impact on how we judge people, too. Think about a manager who decides an employee is an underperformer. From that moment on, they'll start noticing every little mistake, but their brain will just gloss over the successes. Meanwhile, the person they see as a high performer can make the exact same mistake and it's seen as just a one-off. Oh, they're having a bad day. The action is the same, but the belief about the person changes how it's interpreted.
So, if this bias is so common and messes things up, why do we have it? I mean, is our brain just faulty? Well, it's a little more complicated than that. Here's the hard truth. Our brains are first and foremost efficiency machines. They evolved to help us survive, which meant making decisions fast, not spending all day trying to figure out the absolute philosophical truth of everything. Deep, critical thinking just burns a ton of calories, and our brain is always looking for a short part.
Really thinking that you might be wrong about something you care about is, well, it's hard work. It's uncomfortable. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance. So to save energy and avoid that yucky feeling, our brain just takes the easy way out. It sticks with what it already knows. It's basically a mental defense mechanism that feels safer and way, way easier. Okay, so it's a shortcut. Big deal, right? Well, actually, yeah, it is a big deal. Letting this thing run our lives without us noticing has some pretty serious consequences. I mean, when we only listen to things we already agree with, we end up making bad decisions about our money, our health, our careers. We get stuck on false beliefs. We can damage relationships because we just can't see the other person's side. It fuels the polarization we see all over society. And maybe worst of all, it just traps us. It stops us from learning, from adapting, and from growing as people. But here's the good news. We can't just flip a switch and turn this bias off. It's baked into our wiring. But that doesn't mean we're helpless. We can build new mental habits to fight back against it. So let's open up the toolkit. Here are 4 really powerful strategies. Number 1, go find the opposition. Don't wait for someone to disagree with you. Actively search for the smartest people you can find who hold the opposite view and actually listen to them. 2, ask better questions. We'll get to that in a sec. 3, just slow down. Bias loves it when we make fast, gut reaction decisions. And 4, don't tie your identity to your opinions. You are not your beliefs. Changing your mind when you see new evidence isn't a weakness, it's a strength. Let's zoom in on that second one, because this simple switch is a total game changer. Asking yourself, why am I right, just sends you on a hunt for evidence to support your side. But asking, what evidence would prove me wrong, well, that forces your brain to do something completely different. You stop being a lawyer for your own case, and you start being a scientist searching for the truth. And it is so important to remember this. Noticing this tendency in yourself doesn't mean you're unintelligent. It just means you're human. The goal isn't to become some perfectly objective robot. That's impossible. The real goal is just to be aware of it. So the next time you find an article that perfectly confirms everything you believe and you feel that little rush of satisfaction, just pause. That moment right there, that little flash of awareness when you notice what's happening, that is your opportunity. That's your chance to ask a harder question, to look for a different point of view, and to consciously choose to think just a little bit better.